episode of Hello World. So on Monday we have our Climate Hackathon coming up together with Microsoft, which we very much look forward to. So we are going to hack the climate with a focus on water, waste, ecosystem and carbon. And the use cases actually are provided by NGOs, so non-governmental organizations, which is really cool. So we actually get to solve real challenges. We are also lucky to have other partners than Microsoft supporting us in this, and Copenhagen Capacity is one of them. Copenhagen Capacity helps to attract and support companies who want to invest and establish themselves in the Copenhagen region. They have a very ambitious goals. Copenhagen Capacity and Copenhagen City are aiming to be the most sustainable capital in the world. And of course, we want to know more about that. So who are we meeting today, Arlon?
Today we're meeting with Anette Steenberg. She's the Director of Investment Promotions at Copenhagen Capacity. And today, the Copenhagen Capacity is, as you said, a very ambitious organization. They're a prize-winning organization for investment promotions and economic development in the Greater Copenhagen region. And the Greater Copenhagen region, as you might know, reaches as far as southern Sweden. Anette works together with many other skilled individuals to make Copenhagen the first carbon-neutral capital of the world.
That's quite a goal.
Indeed, they're aiming high.
Yep.
And that's what she does with a lot of skilled individuals, and they support a lot of projects and initiatives that contributes to reach that goal. One of those initiatives is Hack the Climate, which they are part of the council in.
Exactly.
So welcome to the show, Anette.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
So, Anette, the first carbon neutral capital in the world before 2025. That's not a small target. That's quite ambitious. How did that target even come up? You know, how did you even think about being that ambitious?
It's a very ambitious goal, and people are working really, really hard on making that, wanting to make that goal very strongly. It actually came about in 2009 when Copenhagen was host for COP15, but it wasn't adopted in a climate plan before 2012. So we've been going on at it for about 9 years now, and the target is by 2025, so just in 4 years, to be the first CO2 neutral capital in the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's quite a challenge. Yeah. Are there any other cities that are that ambitious on this specific topic? Do you see competitors?
I haven't heard, but I must admit, I don't know if there are any other. I know there's a lot of capitals and cities who are aiming also to reduce their CO2 emissions, but I haven't heard anyone as ambitious of doing it already by 2025. And it is also challenging. It's difficult, but sometimes you just need to put the bar high in order to make ambitious goals. Yeah. and make them.
Reaching for the stars.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what other cities are you competing with, do you think?
When it comes to sustainability, I would say the Nordic capitals, of course, are very prominent here. But we also see our always competitor and darling in Amsterdam. They are also very far when it comes to sustainability. So I would say the Nordic capitals and Amsterdam are definitely some of the cities we often look to when we want to be inspired. And then, of course, when it comes to smart cities, there's a lot more, like, for instance, Singapore, there's a lot to learn from as well.
Yeah.
And it's a large journey, of course, that you need to take part in before you reach the being a carbon neutral city.
It is, and there are so many initiatives going on because there are so many areas where you have to improve or where you have to make sure it doesn't happen anymore. The transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy is easier said than done, and it takes time. It takes a lot of investment. And then also you would say the municipal can only do so much. It can of course do a lot on their own buildings, on their own behalfs, but how do you impose on private people, private residents, private cars, etc.? You can do something through legislation, but that is also something that takes a lot of time. So it takes a huge effort, not just for the municipal, the capital, but also the whole country. You need the legislation and regulations to support it, and also very much industry.
Yeah, I can imagine. If you have so many partners, what do you think will be the hardest part of the transformation?
Right now, there are 4 pillars Copenhagen is looking at. It's the energy consumption, it's the energy production, it's what the city can do itself, and it's mobility. Some of the hardest challenges is, for instance, mobility. The municipal Copenhagen capital has done a lot when it comes to public transport. We have the metro running on electricity, we have buses, we have harbor buses, everything is running on electricity. They're working on making sure all construction machineries also have to run on electricity. Wow. That's a little hard because there's not that many of them. But when it comes to private cars, it's hard to demand people only to have electrical cars. So on the private car side, it's hard. What we're trying to do is we're going to make it harder for cars to be in Copenhagen. And a way of doing that is making it very much the bicycling capital of the world. And we are nominated as the best biking city in the world with lots of bike paths. You basically, Copenhagen is a walking and a biking town. And we want, the target is to have 50% of all transport being done within the city by bike or foot. Yeah. And we are making that target, and by 2025 it will be 75. Everything will be either electronic or by bike or walking. So making it harder for cars, that's also a way to do it. But definitely mobility is a challenge. Another challenge is the plastic. Getting people to sort the different kind of plastic and getting rid of the plastic by incineration. But we have a lot of exciting tests going on at our huge incineration plant, which in itself is awesome. If you haven't seen it, you must see it. It's called Copenhagen, and it's an incineration plant in the capital where we have actually built a ski slope on top of the incineration plant.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I think I saw
it.
Yeah. I didn't know it was an incineration though.
It's also, I mean, how many incineration plants in the world becomes a tourism a go-to and a leisure point of attraction. So that in itself. But anyway, out there they're trying to do a lot of interesting things and test on how we can catch the carbon capture, as it's called, and if you really succeed with that technology, then we have a big win. So they are going at that right now, and that's really exciting. But that's definitely also one of the challenges, this carbon capture. We need to find the right technology.
Yeah, indeed. And I hear you naming many parts that you don't think about normally if you don't have to deal with it, like those electric machines and making a ski slope. It asks a tremendous amount of creativity as well. So if I understand well, it's the consumer part and the behavior part that can be hard. Is that a good conclusion?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Everybody has to help here. I mean, it's not just the public officials at the municipality that can make the decisions. Each and every one individual will have to assist. Of course, you can have the carrot and the stick. You can have the carrot by making it really a great biking city, making people want to bike, and you can make the stick by making it extremely expensive to have cars and almost impossible to park. But at the end of the day, you still need people to change their behavior. And that is something that is happening, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's also about understanding why we need to change, right? So it's not just because it's an ambitious target or something, but you really need to understand the why and what's in it for me. Why are we doing this? In that sense, to make it happen for real.
It's a cultural change.
Yeah.
And if I'm as inhabitant, as citizen of the greater Copenhagen region, want to make as positive impact as possible on being living in a carbon neutral city like Copenhagen, what can I do as a citizen?
Besides not having a car, or at least maybe having a lease car or renting a car when you need it, so to use your bike, use your feet, take public transport that is driven by electricity, then of course it's also got something to do with the whole energy consumption. And not the fact that we are, of course, spending a lot of energy, but we need to spend less energy, so buy appliances that are low in energy usage. But also, if you have a house, then make sure that it is insulated the best way. You buy the right windows, you make the right insulation with the right materials of your house. It's sorting your waste. So you sort, especially we're looking very much into sorting different kinds of plastic, trying to see if we can recycle as much as possible, try not to buy things that cannot be recycled. It's recycling clothes, it's actually a lot of things that even small children to elderly citizens can do to help make this change. But the positive side on this, besides it's good for the environment, and we have especially seen this also during the COVID, that it is actually also good for our health.
Yeah.
And not just that we have cleaner air to breathe, but also we do exercise more. And especially within COVID, we have seen that since we can't meet, and when we can meet, we should be outside because the infection is less. Then I think it's a huge benefit. Also benefiting the health side, which is also good in our day and age.
Yeah,
I think COVID has put the sustainability and environment problems to the top of the list again as well, because it is coming sort of or has a connection to it. So people are more motivated, I think, as well for not, doing whatever we can not to have this happen again. I assume. So next week we are starting our Climate Hackathon, and then obviously we're going to have developers hacking the climate challenges. So you've been sponsoring these type of hackathons and events before as well. What is your view on the gain of doing hackathon as part of sort of the innovation process? What has been your experience?
To me, hackathon is only a little bit less than a year old. I'm very new to this game, but I've been very blessed with having great competences on my team that can run hackathon. And Lisa Malmo, that will also be on your mentor list here. Yeah. She is definitely one of them. And I think it actually happened just when COVID hit Denmark and the rest of the world. Well, as you all know, the world shut down. For us who lives from attracting foreign direct investors and talents to Denmark, we do that by going out in the world, visiting them, attending conferences, having them to come to Denmark, etc. All of a sudden, that basically stopped from one day to another. So, what to do? And I saw this as a fantastic opportunity to reach out internationally, because the great thing about these people who participate in hackathons, they are very international, and they are a special breed. I'm certain they work through the night, and they don't mind, and they can work 48 hours in a row without stopping, and they don't care if they have to get up in the middle of the night from Silicon Valley or from Shanghai. I think it's a fantastic type of people that joins the hackathon. And besides the international audience that you can get in a hackathon, it's also you have highly innovative, creative, the entrepreneur spirit is so evident when you dig into these groups, and that we definitely need. We definitely lead it in Hack the Climate. We need all good, creative, innovative ideas on how we can tackle these big challenges we have, and for our sake, in connection with the CO2 reduction, very ambitious targets. I mean, we don't have the solutions or the answers to all the problems that we are facing. And we only get it from being creative and innovative. And I see hackathons doing that. Yeah. We did that in Hack the Crisis in the beginning of COVID. And very honestly, heavily inspired by what Estonia did. I think they were the first and the originator of Hack the Crisis. So I was inspired by that. We organized it as well in Denmark. And within 8 days, we had it up and running. And it became the biggest hackathon in Denmark to date. Yeah. So it was a great success. We also then participated in the EU hackathon, EU versus virus, and a couple of others that followed those. So I believe it's a great opportunity to create a momentum for a case. Last year it was especially the virus that hit us. Now we are back, you could say, to the climate. Yeah. We have so many challenges ahead of us. So I believe this is a fantastic opportunity to gather these creative, innovative minds together and hopefully come up with some solutions and also partnerships across borders that would never have happened if you just met at a conference, because maybe you would not have met the way you can meet here.
I think as well, it's a good way of putting a burning question to the agenda and bringing it to the public as well, and making people aware of both what you can do with technology, but also what are the challenges that we need to solve. So perfect. So we look forward to the hackathon next week, and I'm sure you do as well. And we will welcome Lisa on the council as well. She will help us pick up the best solutions for the juries to decide on. So thank you very much for taking the time, and we will see you next week, I hope, during the hackathon.
Thank you for inviting me. We look very much forward to see the event, experience the event, and of course, to see the results.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, exciting targets, and talk about aiming for the stars or the moon or whatever.
Indeed.
So it's going to be interesting to see what we can achieve, and I really look forward to next week, of course, to see if there are any possible solutions there that will help Copenhagen reach the goal quicker than they thought, maybe.
Yeah, it's already super cool that there are real nonprofits that are that have signed up, that we can work on real cases. So everything that will happen is actually already a win.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
And you still have the chance to sign up.
Yes, please do. You'll find more information about it under Hack the Climate, the hashtag. Or you can watch our LinkedIn as well to find out more information there. So thank you for today, and follow us on LinkedIn not to miss any new episodes of Hello World as well. Take care, bye-bye.